Hello everyone. My name is Jalisa Kooiman and I'll be making this video presentations for the subject Global Futures. Um, my student number is 411262 and the industry sector that I'm looking at is adventure and recreation, and I'll be looking at five of the six mega trends. I'll be looking at more from less, going, gone, Silk Highway, virtually here, and great expectations. The more from less mega trend. The more from less megatrend is a megatrend that explains the fact that the Earth has limited supplies that are essential for maintaining a certain lifestyle. Research shows that a lot of resources are being exhausted at an alarming rate, while at the same time, populations and economies are growing across the globe. The more from less megatrend looks at how companies, governments, and communities will find new ways of securing our ways of life and the way of life for the future generation. Looking at the more from less megatrend with adventure and recreation in mind, one of the future trends might be that with climate change, some adventure and recreation places will not be available to the general public. The next one, going, gone. Many of the world's animals and plant species are declining in numbers and are losing the war against us as humans, and as a result are risking extinction. The steps that we take in the next decade will color their future. The megatrend going, gone is posed as a question because the next years will show how much we are willing to do to make sure the world's ecosystem and her biodiversity won't be lost forever. Going, gone does not only look at the decreasing amount of species, but also at the rise of greenhouse emissions and climate change. Looking at the going, gone megatrend, with adventure and recreation in mind, we will have to look at the billions of people that will be added to the world population. An increase of the world's population will in its turn contribute to more people traveling. Already in the latest CSRIO report shows that the rate of biodiversity loss is not slowing down. There is also still deforestation on a big scale and habitat fragmentation. Based on the going, gone megatrend, one of the future trends might be that that adventure and recreational travel may only happen in the designated areas, and no more than a certain amount of people can visit these places. The Silk Highway. The Silk Highway, and will we travel there? In the past years and in the coming decade, we have seen the world's economy shift from west to east. Countries that used to be poverty-stricken to a certain extent seem to be transitioning. Their citizens are rising more and more from poverty into the middle classes. This economic movement builds new export markets and trade relations. It also brings new opportunities, cultural ties, funds, and ideas. The geographic hotspot of the world's economy is where the GDP of 700 locations comes together. In 1980, this was in the Atlantic Ocean between the US and Europe. Now it's over Saudi Arabia and is estimated to be between India and China in 2030. What will that mean? Based on the Silk Highway megatrend, one of the future trends might be that with the rising middle class in China, it will become a tourism-friendly country. As more Chinese people have money to travel, local governments might invest in adventure and recreation for the Chinese and foreign tourists. Great expectations. People of the future will expect better, faster, and more personalized services. This will happen because we are getting used to getting what we want when we want it with higher end experiences. In the next decade, it is expected that the income growth will give people more disposable income, which will they use to buy experience. Based on the megatrend Great Expectations, looking at adventure and recreation, some of the trends for the future might be that the more money people spend, the more we expect clear skies and sea full of fish. But if the world is getting richer, that might not be feasible. If we think that we only will be the only one looking for a nice hotel in the middle of summer, our expectations will not be virtually here. Virtually here is a mega trend that looks at the world and its increased connectedness. In the last decade, it's been easier and easier to connect with people all over the world. This connection between individuals, groups, communities, and governments. Our daily lives are moving online, from shopping to banking to holiday planning. This new world brings opportunities, but has downsides as well. People are losing jobs, and cyber attacks are at a whole time high. Online shops have the ability to change labor markets, but will they? Based on Virtually Here megatrend, one of the trends for the future might be that people won't leave their houses anymore for adventure and recreation, but seek adventure through virtual reality headsets. People can make virtual tours from the ease of their living room. So, some of the possible discussion questions that we could use, that you could use as a response to my video is, for example, for the more fun less. Will all destinations be still available to the general public? Do you think yes? Do you think no? Going, gone. Can a limited amount of people visit a specific place? Imagine that no more than 100,000 people can visit the Great Barrier Reef every year. The Silk Highway. Will China become the new Europe for tourists? Will people, instead of going to Europe, will all go to China? Virtually Here. Going on an adventure from your living room. Would you do it? Would you not? Great expectations. Will we all be disappointed because we ask for too much? These are my references. I hope you guys all enjoyed, and that's the end of my video.